Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'll be covering creating this fun cube object in Plasticity and animating this in Blender. So let's get started. Alright, so here we go. So a couple things I'd like to note is, first of all, when I use the left mouse button, it turns red. The middle mouse button for rolling is blue, and then the right mouse button is green. And the verbiage, what I'm doing is down below here. So I hope that helps. So basically we're going to keep the box, which we'll use for our modeling. So let's go ahead and use this right now. We're going to actually get a line here, and we're going to actually make sure the snaps is on here. We're going to go from this top down to this corner. Since everything's snapped, it makes it easier to understand a 45-degree angle. So now I'm going to hit the G key, and we're going to actually use the F, and we're going to actually hit the center here, and we're going to hit the center of this box here. All right, so one thing we'll do first is we're going to, now got this line, we're going to rotate this on the top view. So go to the Z. I'm going to hit the R key here, and I'm going to hit the F, so I can hit the center here. I'm going to go ahead and select this end here, and I want to bring this out straight to this point here, because I'm going to be cutting the edges. So something like that. So let's see what that looks like. So here, it's kind of what we're looking at to cut this piece out. And I think that's fine. Let's go and get rid of this piece here. So now let's go ahead and mirror this. Go to the top view. Hit the mirror, opposite side. Hit OK. I'll select both of them. Mirror again. Opposite side. There we go. Now that we've gotten this, we are going to now select the object. And I'm going to use this to cut. So let's go ahead and hit the cutter. We're going to select this right here. And you see it cuts that edge there. We could always make this bigger if we want to after we're done. Let's just start with a good size. Hit OK. And now we'll do the same thing. And then we'll hit the cutter. Hit this one. Hit OK. Cool. And same thing on this side. Select the object again, hit the cutter, and we'll select this one here. Perfect. Now we got these all done. We'll do the same thing on the bottom. So go to the side view. We can use the line tool. So I got snaps on. Go across. And let's just do the opposite side here. Just cut it, just like that. So cut. There we go. Delete this piece right here. Select this. Delete. Select this piece here. Delete. Select this piece. Delete. There we go. All right. And now we can actually go down the center here. Mirror this. First select the object. Mirror. Hit the F key. Go straight down to the left here. Hit OK. I'm not going to merge those. I'm going good with that. All right, I think that's a good start. So let's go ahead and hit these lines here and delete those. Delete this one. Cool. All right, so that's the first start. Now, what we can do is we can hide these two and know that they're there, of course. And let's go to the top view now. We'll start off with the right shape here. So go to the top view here. I'm going to select the polygon tool, and we'll select the center here and bring out to this edge here. Now what you can do is use the roller on your mouse and hit the shift key and just bring this down to so it actually becomes 3 points, which is a triangle, and let go. Cool. Now it might not look like it's centered or its exact shape on all three sides, but it really is. And a good way to do that is, first of all, let's go and add a little bit of detail to this. So let's hit the B key to do a fillet on this. I'm going to bring it out to about 0.070. Hit OK. And the way you could figure this out is you got your center here, right? This exactly equals like 0.361 to this point, right? Now, if you do the same thing from this point to this point, exact same thing, and the exact same thing. So you got exact triangle all the way around. So all the shapes are the same on all three sides. So that's what we want. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. All right, so let's go ahead and now select the face tool here, and let's actually add a little bit more depth to this. So let's bring it down. Again, we could always adjust this later, but for now, I think that's good, about 0.11. Say OK. And now we can get rid of these sections here. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Hit delete. We don't need these either. Delete those. That's just to help us get our bearings, which could maybe use those later on, but it's fine. Z key. All right, so we're going to create something on top of here. So let's go down to the actual rectangle tool, and we're going to hit the center section here. We're going to bring this out to something like that. And then I'm going to use the point tool, select these 2 points, and hit the SS twice. And I'm going to bring this in, something like that. Hit OK. And I'm also going to hit the G key to bring this back. And I want to bring this into, actually, all 4 of these now. G. Let's bring this closer. I think something like that would look good. Don't want it too much. Now, one thing I want to make sure that I do is add some nice roundness to these shapes. And I suggest that we don't use too much of the fillets up front unless they're really major fillets. And this would be a major fillet because it's very rounded. So hit the B key here, and let's pull this out. Something like this, nice round shape. Cool, so there we go. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Now, a few more things I like to do here to make some different shapes. Let's go to the side view here. Select the line, and we're going to move this up. G key, about right there. Hit OK. So it's out of the way. Now what we can do is now use the face tool, and we can pull this down. We're going to go into the space. One thing I want to do, though, I want to have like a step down effect on this. To do that, it's real simple. You can select the face here, and we could actually use the Control R, which is isoparallel, and it goes different angles. So this one's down the center. I want to use the Tab key to move it to the other side here, and I'm actually going to bring this inward so I can see what I'm doing, kind of like somewhere about here. Cool. So now that I got that, that'll help us kind of maneuver some things here. So what we can do, let's go ahead and select this now and hide it. Select this face here, and let's bring it down. And not too much there, but that's fine. We can always adjust later. And again, another curve here I want to adjust. I don't want anything sharp on that bottoms. So I'm going to pull this out. Have a nice angle. And same with this one too. On the plus. So we're going to pull to the left. Whichever way is plus for you. So something like that. So it gives it a nice little variation. All right, cool. Hit OK. Now let's select this top piece here and delete it. All right, so let's keep moving this. So now that I got that done, I want to go to this top view here. I want to create some more detail. So this is the inner piece, right? So I want to create these basic cylinder sections here. So I'm going to go right here, pull it out. I don't want to go past the 0 point here. Actually, I could just bring this up with the S and then move it over a little bit. G. So something like that. I think that looked nice. All right, go back to the top view. And what I'm going to do here is go into the space. So E into it. Hit OK. We can actually use this now to scale twice, just like that. Now we can do is hit the face tool. Actually, let's get to the line tool here. Select this G key. Move this up. Hit OK. That's not exactly what you saw in the animation. It's a little bit close, but again, I redid this to make it easier. So hit the scale twice. Control Z. So I'm going to hit the Shift D first. I still select this line here, or this section, and go to the side view here. This is your center point. So let's go ahead and hit the G key and F. I'm going to move this right to the mid section here. Bring this back down. There we go. And we're going to hit the Shift D, G key on the Z. And then we'll scale this in. S twice. Hit OK. All right, so let's select the face and this face. And hit the L key. There we go. Cool. Now select these lines. Delete that one. Delete this one. All right, let's create some more shapes on this. So I'm going to use the actual rectangle tool. Let's go to this side here. Now, this is not exactly centered, so let's fix that. So we're going to select this object, G key, F, here, and we're going to move it right there. Now we're exactly centered. Sometimes you need to place yourself so you know what you're doing. Now go ahead and hit the rectangle tool. And we're going to select right here. Something like this. And we can left click, select the points here. Scale these in a little bit. Okay. And again, let's do a B. Make that nice and rounded. Just like that. And one thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we follow this somewhat. I think it'd be nice to also make this a little bit less harsh. Something like that. G key, we'll move that inward. There we go. Let's go to the side view here. I'm going to make a copy of this. So doing a Shift D, bring this in, and then over, just like that. Okay. Same with this, G key, move it into the space a little bit. And now we can take these two sections and again loft them. So hit the L. Okay. So select these lines. Just select them that way too. Let's hit the Alt. Let's make this nice and rounded. Cancel. Another thing I want to do is also select these edges in the back. Make that rounded. Something like that. So now that we did that, we can hit the two sections here. We actually just pull this out. Not too much like about there. Cool. Now that we've got this, let's go ahead and use the radial ray. And we're going to select the center of this. So something like that. And I'd like to add more. So I'm going to bring this up, something like that. I think that looked nice. Now I'll select the whole thing by selecting the object tool. Hit Shift, and now we got them all selected. Hit Q, and then Q, and hit the OK. Now it's one shape. Now what we can do is we could take, let's go ahead and first select this, top view, mirror this to the other side. Make sure you have the object selected. Mirror. Opposite side. Cancel. You just want this selected. Mirror. Opposite. Not sure why I'm selecting both of them, but it's okay. Hit OK. All right, so now we got them both here. Let's select all three of them. Hit the Q. Actually, cancel. Got a little issue right there. I think it's a little too low. So select both of these. And let's move those down with the G key. Just want to make sure they're not too low, because you got some variations here. Hit OK. Just select this one, this one, this one. Q, Shift Q, hit OK. And we take these top pieces here, delete them. And now we can actually go in, select the edge inside. Same with this one. All right, let's pull this out just a little bit. Hit OK. Now select this one and this one. And we can make these more like a chamfer. Hit OK. Now we can select this object here. We can move it in place. So G, right into the space. Now it's evenly, which is good. I think we can actually bring this up a little bit more. Something like this. Hit OK. And we select this one and this one. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror this now. Hit OK. There we go. All right, so let's go and do this. Select this, this, Q, and then hit the Q again. Hit OK. And I think that looks cool. Now I'll select this. Shift D. And we'll scale this down a little bit. Hit the G key. Cool. So now we can actually say OK. Hit Shift D again. Bring it down. Scale. Something like that. Hit OK. So now we select this one. This one. Actually, we'll select the faces here. This one, and then we'll hit the L key. Perfect. Line tool. Do a fillet here. We'll just delete this one. Select this one here. Delete. All right, so that's not going to work. So let's go and do it anyway. So let's get easier. Select it, delete it. There we go. Line tool. Select this. A little bit rounded. Cool. And I think it would be a nice little touch is if we actually do something like this. Shift D. Scale. G. Bring it out. Hit the face tool here. Extrude with E key. And right into the space. There we go. So now select this object. This one. Hit a Q. Hit OK. Select the line here. Let's do a B key. And we can actually do a chamfer. Negative. Just like that. Now let's select these two lines inside. This one, and this one, 3 of them. Let's pull this out on a plus. Just like that. Hit OK. Cool. Now we select it. Hit the G key. And move this into the space. Just like that. All right, so we'll select this. Select this. Hit the Q key. And there we go. So we get some cool shapes real quick that way. And we can also select this line here. Make it a little nicer. I'm going to do a chamfer on this one. And then the fillets on the two that we just created. So again, every time you do a chamfer, it creates 2 lines. So let's pull this out in the plus. There we go. I think these will be some interesting shapes. All right, so what we can do is hit the G key. Move this up a little bit more. I want the shape to kind of really stand out. I think something like that. And here we go. I'm going to pull this out now. Bit of a fillet. Cool. And what we can do now is just copy this so we don't have to redo all this. Saves time, right? So select it. Front view. Mirror. Opposite side. There we go. Yeah, I think that will create some interesting shapes for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and do some more work on this. One thing I want to do is make sure that we have a nice smooth roundness to this. So select this edge here. Let's pull this out. About right about there. Nice smooth. Hit OK. Let's go to this view here. And we'll select the rectangle tool again. And we're going to select right about here. Let's pull this out here. Some interesting more shapes. So let's select these. Hit the S key. Bring those out. Hit the G key. Again, it's a real quick and easy way to get your shapes the way you want them. Cool. Now let's go ahead and select these. Hit the B key, and we'll do a fillet. Nice and rounded. All right, so now that we've got this, let's go ahead and hit the G key. Move this up with the blue, which is Z. And we can now select this, pull this in. We can get a nice little angle here, but first let's do this. Line tool, select this. Let's pull this out. Again on the plus. Just like that. And on the side view here, let's rotate it. R. We can do the F here, so we can actually pull it from here. Like that. See how that looks. So select this. Select this. Q. Okay. So I think that looks nice. Select line tool and delete it. And let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So select it, pull it out on the plus. Not too much on this one. About right there. All right, I think that looks nice. Now this is our first kind of interesting object here. We could add some more detail here as well. So I'm thinking maybe we can do some kind of mechanical looking shapes. So we'll go here, out. I'll do something like this. Something like that. I think that would be nice. Both sides. Hit the B key. Select all these. Just do them all at one time. Save some time. Just want to make it smoother. So what we can do is get off of that thing there. Let's do G. Move it off just a little bit, right? Okay. Just go and select this one right here. G. Delete that. All right. So select these. B. Pull this out. Plus. We got a problem right here. Not sure why that's not going. Hit the G key here. Move it up. Again, more. Definitely need to bring this up. There we go. All right, so let's go and select the points. I'm not sure why this one wasn't taking. All right, to fix this problem, we'll just recreate it, make it better. So let's do that. I'm just going to use these main outlines. Oh yeah. Select this other one. Just delete it. All right. So let's go and select these points and fix them. G key, a little bit on this line here. Okay. G key. G key. Just like that. G key. I'm just trying to line everything up here. Okay. I'm going to try to stay away from this line. It's not going to make a difference, but just good practice anyway. G key. Move this down a little bit. All right, cool. Now let's select these. Hit the B key. Pull this out a little bit. There we go. Nice, smooth. All right, one time it doesn't succeed. Just do it again. Hit the zoom in. Okay. All right, so now we can do this. Mirror this over to the side. Just like that. Hit okay. All right, so let's go and do this. Select this. Select this. Select this. And this time I'm going to hit the Q and Shift Q. So I can add some interesting designs here. Let's go ahead and delete this. Delete this. Delete this. And what we can do now is we can select these two. Let's move it in a little bit with the G key. Blue. Just like that. Select these lines. Shift. Do both same time. Do a chamfer on this one. Okay. Select the Alt key here. Alt key here. What's that on the plus? Just a little bit. Hit OK. There we go. All right, so kind of liking what we got here. So let's go see how this is going to look. So this is what we're going to use to cut into. So let's go ahead and select it. Need to hide some things, like for instance this. And this is our object that we're going to use to cut into. So let's move it over. Hit the G key. Bring this down a little bit more and in. Yeah, I think that will give some characteristics here that look nice. So go to the top view here. Now that we've got this, let's go and select the whole thing and deselect this by control. The triple, hit the center here, and I'm going to go down to 3, just like that. Now everything is lined up. It's exactly half and half. Hit the OK button. All right. So now we got this. Let's go ahead and hit the G key. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. Something like that. Now select this main triangle. Hit your Shift key. Select them all. Hit the Q. And you're going to see some interesting shapes now. Hit the OK button. Let's see what we got. It's going to take a second. This is pretty complex. So yeah, so these two can be deleted. No need for these ones here. Delete these. Very cool. Now we got some really interesting shapes. So while we're here, let's go ahead and kind of fix some things here. So I think it would be kind of cool to have like angles sections on this edges. Something in the center, of course. All right, so let's continue on this. So now I'm going to create a actual square. I'm going to set the center here and bring this out, something like that. I'm also going to hit the face tool and scale this down, just like that. Let's select the object here, hit the G key and bring it upward. I'm going to go to the side view here, and I'm going to rotate this. So hit the R key, and we'll hit the F key right here. Bring it down to the end here, and just bring this down a little bit. Just want to get a nice little angle there. Again, hit the G key, bring it up a little bit more. I want to make sure I pass the edge here. I think that will look kind of cool. Now I want to make sure that these edges are passed so we don't have it intersecting. Cool. So what we can also do here is we can select these edges here. This one, pull them out, plus, and that just look a little bit nicer. We can select that now and delete it. I think that looks good. I think we can also do a little bit more of a nice smooth edge here. Actually, cancel. I'm not going to do that until after the fact. All right, so now I got this. I'm going to go to the top view. And again, radial array. Let's select here. Now we got all three sections. Hit OK. So select this one, and this one. Hit the Q key. Hit the OK. It'll take a second. Pretty complex stuff there. So I think it would be kind of cool to make, after the effect, is to make some type of light inside this actual section here. I just think that would look nice. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to go in and start kind of modifying this a little bit. So let's go and set these lines here. All these here, all around. And this one. And let's pull this out. On the plus. Make that nice and smooth. Just like that. Okay. I think these will be nice as well. So select OK. Let's go ahead and get these other ones here. Select this one, this one, this one. Pull this out. We can either go plus or negative. It doesn't like that for some reason. So if it does that, we can always select this. I think the problem is this right here is causing the problem because these are so tight. What we can do, if that's causing us a problem, we could just delete the inner pieces here. So select this little line here, hit the Alt key, and that will select all the way around until it can't go anymore. And there's your problem right there. It's a little edge there. Right click this. Actually, we could just select this again, Alt. Yeah. Select it. Select the Shift, Alt. Shift Alt. It caused a little bit of a bad issue there. Select this again with the Shift, and this one is Shift Alt. Cool. Let's go delete that. Hit the Delete key. Now you might not have the same problem because I went a little too far on that. And I'll do the same thing here. Same thing here. Delete key. I'll come back and adjust this later. Get another one here. Delete. I'll just fast forward this actually. Make it easier. Okay, well that's it. All right, so we got them all. Let's go ahead and go back And we'll select each of these. Select one here. Select this one here. And then we can select this one here. All right. So now I got all those selected. Let's go ahead and hit the bevel. And we're going to do a chamfer. So something like this. About there, looks good. I think, yeah, they're all the same. That's great. All right, cool. So now we can actually select these upper pieces again. Actually, let's hit the Shift key. And then I'll pull this out on the plus. Nice rounded edge there. Perfect. I think I'll just leave that alone. All right, cool. So that's that. So let's continue this. So one thing I like to do is create a section here for the light to go into to make it a little more complicated. So what we can do, select this face, go to top view, and hit the Shift D, and hit the G key, bring it up just a little bit. And we can select the face here after we hit OK. Extrude, and we can go straight down. I think what I want to do is shrink this down just a little bit. Scale this down like that. Let's hit these little points here, these little edges. Pull it out. There we go. Hit OK. All right, so we got that. Let's go and select it again. Top view. Again, we'll hit the radio ray. Now that did not work, so let's go back to Z. Radio ray. Make sure it's exactly on the 0 axis. There we go. So now, let's go and select this, Q, and then we'll hit the Shift Q. We want to keep the piece. Say OK. Cool. Now let's go ahead and get rid of these top pieces. 1, 2, 3. Delete those. And we now got these pieces here. So we can select the main object here and hide it. That's kind of what I wanted right here. So now that we got this in here, I think it would be kind of cool just to cut out part of this. So this would be like your glass. I know I don't need these pieces here, so we can just do something like that. Hit OK. Same with these other ones. Face tool. Move it out. OK. So actually, let's do this again. I'll pull this out. There we go. Hit OK. All right, so select the bottom. Shift bottom. And we'll pull these up. Just like that. That's all we need. And I think it would be look really cool. So this is your glass. Let's make this kind of rounded. We hit OK. Shift Alt. Shift Alt. Shift Alt. B key. Make this nice and round. The plus. This is your glass piece, right? I think that's going to look really cool. So now, go ahead and hide this. And you got a little section in there. I'm going to do now actually bring in another object. Use the disk instead. The center here. We'll pull this out. Not exactly centered. G key, F, pull it right here. There we go. Now it's centered. And of course, this is way too big. That's all right. Let's go ahead and fix it. Put this down. Like that. There we go. Okay. Hit the line tool there. Might as well do this now. Make this nice and like a light. Hit the G key, bring it in. Just like that. Okay, go back to top view. Radio array. There we go. All right, I think that looks good. The problem is this is not exactly straight. That's why it's causing these problems. I think it's fine though. Let's just go and use this. Hit OK. So select the object. This one. Select each one of these. Hit the Q key. Keep tool. OK. All right. So now we've done that. We could actually select this line right here. Do something like this. Copy this. Control C. That's fine. This one. This one. Control B. Control B. Okay. All right. So I think that looks a lot better. Now we can actually adjust some things here. All right. So it's almost getting there. So I want to put an object here in the center. I'm going to use the Alt key. Something here. Shift Alt. Shift Alt. Let's pull this out. With the plus here. Nice and smooth. The OK. We can select these here. Alt key. Alt key. Alt key. Again, hit the B key. Bevel this. Make it nice and smooth. Hit OK. Yeah, I think that's looking really good. So let's go ahead and hide all this. I still want to put something here. Top view. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's try to use the polygon tool again and see what we can come up with. Pull it out. I'm going to pull it out down the center. I'm going to hit the shift key now. Hold it. Rotate. This is a 3-point. Nothing's really going to work with this other than a triangle. We can go with a 6 and rotate it. So we can do something like this. Perfect. We can do an R key now. F key. And let's pull it over here. Let's pull it right here. All right, so that will work. Let's just try to figure out a good position for this. So we can take this line here, hit the center of this, right? Select this, R key, F, center. I'm going to hit the center of this, and then I'm going to hit the center of this. Perfect. That's one great way to line something up easily. Delete this. So select this and hit the G key. Move this up. What's the top view? And I could scale this out a bit more. All right, cool. Now I'm going to hit the Shift D, bring this down, scale this down. Okay. Hit the face tool. this face tool, hit the L key, hit OK. All right, let's select these lines. And we'll hit the, pull this out, the plus. All right, there's good. We can also select the bottom here. Hit the B key. Actually, it's not what we wanted. That's all right. Hit OK. Let's go ahead and select this now. There we go. Hit OK. So we can do extrude section. This is the last solid. Get rid of these lines. Delete. Delete. Bring this back. G key. Bring it down. There we go. Hit OK. Select this object, hit the Q. There we go. It takes a few seconds. Got a lot going on here. I think these edges are too sharp right here. I gotta fix those. Okay, let's go do something similar to what I did on the other design that I showed everybody. Shift D. And I'm gonna hit Shift D again and G. On the Z. Like this. Scale it. 2 S's. Hit OK. So now I'm going to do this, hide, hit this face, L. Okay. Okay, let's select all these lines. B key, pull this out. Problem is we got the wrong thing selected here. Select this one, delete. That one, Control Z. Make sure they get the bottom. Delete. Okay, now we can do this. I've got them selected, pulled out. Not too much. Got right there. I think we'll go to 0.002. Sometimes you got to type it in. 0.002. Hit OK. So let's hide this now. I think it would be nice to put something in the center here. Do a Shift D here, bring it up. Use the face selection here. 1, 2, L. Okay. Select the line, delete it. Select this line, delete it. It's going to select this line. Do a chamfer on this one. There we go. And we can now go back and make that a plus. This one a plus. And this one on top. Perfect. Let's select this. G key, move it in. Keep tool. Hit OK. Select the line tool. Let's pull this out. Just like that. All right, now we got some interesting shapes. I kind of like this. I think it looks good. All right, so that's the fun part. Now we got to add it to the other piece here, and that should call it for this modeling exercise. So I'm basically starting over on the actual angles on this square. So I'm going to turn it and add a little bit of different shape here, different degrees, like 45 degrees. So anyway, this is what you have to do, kind of play this out and try to work it out. right, so we need some space here. This is way too big. So let's bring this back. So if you're going to look at this, you need to pass this middle spline. So we need to go past this. All right, so it's a good way to go back and try to figure this out. Let's just bring this back. We need to pass that line and then some. Need a little bit of space to work with. But I think the angle is just right. I think all we need to do now is rotate this in. Side view. Hit OK. Let's go and select this. Deselect this. And let's hit the G key. F. Center. Right there's good. Rotate. F. Rotate. F. Go to the end here. This end here. Do the same amount. Right there. About right there. GG. Edge here. Something like that. All right. Hit OK. Let's go and select these lines. This one. This one. This one. Deselect these. Side view. G. There. Scale. S twice. G. Something like that. I think it's close. Bring this down a little bit more. Scale it with SS twice. I think that looks better. Yeah, I think that looks good. That was the hardest part, getting that back to line up. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead now and cut this in. Select this. Select the main body here. Hit Q. Keep tool. Okay. There we go. Now we can select this inner piece. We can pull this back out. Pull it into plus. That look nice. There we go. Looks like it belongs. All right, the trick here now is to rotate everything and redo it. So let's go and do that. Okay, top view. So we can mirror this now to this side. Okay. Q, Q. All right, next step is to select it all, hit the rotate, put snaps on, make it easier. 1, 2. Now we could do this again. Mirror. Bam. Mirror again. Bam. Q, Q. Okay. Exactly what we needed. All right, so let's go back to the top. Rotate it. And again, we're going to go exactly 45 degrees. Cool. Let's go to the side view here. And now we're going to cut. Go right about here. That look good. Right here. And then we'll cut the next section over. So select it. Cutter. Hit OK. Delete this. Let's do the same thing. Mirror. F. We'll go this way. Awesome. We got two, top and a bottom. Perfect. We could also do a nice edge here. Take out the snaps now. Pull this out with a little bit of a chamfer. I'm going to copy this. Control C. We do the bottom too. Same thing. Again, Control V. Control V. Hit OK. There we go. Now we gotta do the rest of the magic here. Let's just select this. Deselect these two. And we can go to the top view, right? Mirror. Opposite side. Cool. Shift D. Okay, now that's done. Let's hit the R key. And we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. Hit OK. There we go. Same thing here. Side view. Let's go ahead and mirror this. F key down the center. Spin it out a little bit. Let's go this way. It looks like it's finally working. Left click. There we go. And we have it all. Hit OK. Okay, that was fun. So the last part of this is exporting this out. So this is my suggested method. I'm going to first save it before I do this. Always a good idea. Save as many times as you can. Okay. Let's go ahead and export right here. Select this, bring it down. I'm going to call this Cube Fun. We'll call this number 2. And we'll go ahead and export the OBJ. And I always go to end guns just because of my preference. I'll go to 1 here. So we've got a lot more detail. And zoom in a little bit. All right, so what I normally do is I go with this. Just add a little extra detail there to support all the lines. So I go with 0.1 in most cases, or sometimes 0, 1. Just depends on the detail or how big the shape is. It's a little complex. It's quite a bit of detail here. So definitely going to put your system to a halt. You might want to do half of it and then do the other half. Export it out to make it easier. All right, so that is still a little small, or too big, I mean, sorry. I'll put 0, 1. More detail here. Also going to select this. All right, again, just due to the complexity of the shape, it's having a lot of problems trying to export it. So I'm going to do half of the side first time and the other half on the bottom. So select those areas. Again, select this P over here, export. I'm going to put down Cube Fun 2. I'm going to put TOP for top, OBJ. I'm just going to put this back to 1 for now. Let this recalculate. Okay, now it's not enough detail, as you can see here. quite a bit bad here, so I'm going to go ahead and go back in here and add in 0, 0. And I'm going to change this to like a 3 tab. See what we come up with. Don't go too far. It'll stop your system. Yeah, I think overall this has a good amount of detail, but maybe just a little bit more. So if that's the case, let's go down to 2. Tab. This gives you that curvature that you're looking for. Yeah, even with this one, I might have to go a little bit lower. Delete, put a 1. Tab it. That still might not be enough. I might need to go to 0, 0 something. Again, still not enough lines there. So let's go ahead and do this. Delete 0, 6, tab 4. Need more curvature here. Still too small. Yeah, I think that's better. Nice edge here. Okay, we'll go with that. And this one, I'm going to go to 0.1. All right, so I'm going to add another 0 here. This is not working for me. I think that would be good. All right, I think that looks great. So I think that's it for this. So this is the first part of the 2 series. Next will be in Blender and texturing it and animating it. So come join me for the second one. Thanks. Since you did the first one, now we have to do the second section, which is the bottom. And it's the same thing. Just going to use the actual, type this in the bottom and keep the same settings. So it's that simple. Save. Once it's done calculating and it stops, hit OK. All right. That's it for that. Cool. Thanks again. Subscribe. Thanks for joining me.